Unquestionably, the most famous open heart surgery of our time belongs to former President Bill Clinton, to whom I personally owe a special gratitude. Mr. President, I want to thank you. First of all, people don't know this, but a year ago, you and I were at an occasion, and I told you in secret that I was having some heart problems, and you reassured me. And my open heart surgery is because you did, and you and I had the same surgeon, Dr. Craig Smith.
He's terrific, isn't he?
I thank you. I wouldn't be talking to you maybe today, and you might not be talking to me if you...
I certainly wouldn't be talking to you today if it weren't for him.
As our 42nd president, Clinton often ran 20 to 25 miles a week, but he also sprinted through too many steaks, hamburgers, and fried chicken, gaining weight and sending his cholesterol to dangerous levels. It was a recipe for disaster. In 2004, you had open heart surgery, and the entire world seemed to have held its breath.
This is an ABC News special report.
Former President Clinton's quadruple bypass heart surgery was conducted this morning.
Was it a matter of life and death?
Oh, yeah. I was heavily blocked. I had 90% blockage.
It's not the first time the nation held its breath.
A stunned nation hears that its president is stricken with a heart attack.
In 1955, Dwight Eisenhower became the first sitting president to suffer a heart attack. He survived, but 4 additional heart attacks ultimately killed him. A similar fate awaited Clinton in August of 2004, when he returned from a book tour. The warning signs were there: chest pain, severe tightness, shortness of breath, fatigue. But because Clinton had just passed a stress test, he chose to ignore them.
Frankly, I thought it had something to do with the fact that I'd worked almost around the clock trying to finish my book in the previous 6 months. But I was really dumb. I hope nobody else will ever do what I did. But if you start feeling tightness in your chest, go check it out right away.
Only after the tightness became acute did Clinton finally go to New York Presbyterian Hospital. This is his actual angiogram, showing 90% blockage in 2 arteries, a catastrophic heart attack just waiting to happen. Dr. Craig Smith told Clinton he needed immediate bypass surgery. What was wrong with him?
He had obstruction to the blood vessels that supply blood to his heart muscle, coronary disease.
How bad was it?
It was severe. It was the type that requires surgery.
And I realized there was really no alternative. If I wanted to live, I had to do this.
Doctors literally bypassed Clinton's blocked arteries, using 2 healthy arteries from his chest and a vein from his leg. For 73 minutes, his heart was stopped.
That is kind of scary. You know, you think you're basically being kept alive by a machine.
The surgery lasted 4 hours, during which the president claims he had a vision.
I saw pictures of people I loved, like Hillary and Chelsea and people that had been my friends in my life, coming in a circle of light and then sort of flashing off into the distance. They were this kind of presence in the universe. It was an amazing experience, and I remembered it very clearly when I woke up.
At the time, many worried that the surgery would affect Clinton's restless mind and body. But then 7 weeks later, there he was, campaigning for presidential candidate Senator John Kerry.
This is, believe it or not, really good for my heart.
That December, Clinton led the U.S. response to the catastrophic tsunami. Like many patients, he felt fitter and stronger after the surgery. Not surprising, since his heart was replenished with blood and oxygen. But 3 months later, a setback. Scar tissue around his heart caused fluid to build up in his lung, and it collapsed, requiring a low-risk surgical procedure.
I've got more scars on me than a guy in a tiger fight now, but it wasn't a big problem. It just was something I had to do, so I went back and did that.
And again, off he went. In 2005, Katrina. 2009, a rescue mission to North Korea. And last year, the Haiti earthquake. But then, last February, Clinton became pale and weak, requiring a 3rd procedure to place stents in one of his bypasses that was narrowing.
And I stayed awake and watched them put 2 stents in an artery that was pretty bent up and blocked.
Thanks again.
Clinton's doctors insist that none of this additional treatment is unusual or due to the president's hectic pace.
The working keeps me calm and whole, really. It gives me something to look forward to every day when I get up, and it keeps me out of Hillary's way. I'd be more stressed out if all I had to do every day was look forward to when my tea time was.
This past August, the president walked his only child down the aisle, and when photos of the wedding were released, people thought he looked ill. He'd lost more than 20 pounds. At Chelsea's wedding, a lot of people looked at you and said he has lost so much weight. Was it deliberate? Or
Absolutely. For several months, I just essentially quit eating animal products, including dairy.
So it's mostly what, grains and...
I mostly eat vegetables, fruits, and whole grain bread, and I just feel better doing it.
3 days after our interview, he was on the move again.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Standing next to our current president, holding court, expressing his opinions. Indestructible? You bet. Had you not had that surgery, you might not have been able to walk your beautiful daughter down the aisle.
You know, whenever I get discouraged about first one thing and another, I think of the enormous gratitude I feel for that. That was one of the best days of my life and one of the most important days of my life.
And someday, Mr. President, some little child may look up and say, "Hello, Grandpa."
I hope so. Yeah, that's my next big goal. I want to hang around here to have grandchildren.
When we come back, what should you know to prevent heart disease?
We'd rather have you come to us and get a negative examination than find you dead on your kitchen floor.
Oh, my son.